Hello and welcome to On the Kerbs. I'm your host, Team Albus Daily. Joining me this week is Rally Driver Cristiana Oprea. We caught up recently to chat about how she got into motorsport to begin with, what she's been doing to help inspire and bring more women into motorsport, her 2022 plans, which film franchise she'd love to join, and much more. So, without any further ado, let's just get straight into it, and I hope you enjoy our conversation. So, hi Christiana, thanks for being here today. First of all, how are you?
Hello, thank you for inviting me. I'm good.
Perfect, happy to hear it. So, first question I like to ask everyone I talk to on here, what first got you into motorsport?
Well, my answer is never the typical one because I have no background in motorsport. My family had no idea what motorsport was. So I've never been to rallies or to hill climb events as a child. I actually studied urban planning and architecture, but I love cars. So I got an opportunity to work as a PR for the Romanian Motorsport Federation. And this is
Nice.
how I got into motorsport because I had to promote rallying and I had no idea what a rally was. So yeah, this is how I actually ended up as a co-driver in a rally car back in 2015. And I was lucky enough to meet my mentor, who was the driver I was co-driving back then. And he taught me he also does like rally driving courses, and he rented my first race car for an event, and this is how it all started.
Very nice. And for those who don't know, who is that mentor?
It's George Grigorescu. He's a former Renault Sport rally driver in Romania.
Definitely knows a thing or two about racing then.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely a very unconventional approach in then. But then you seemingly fell in love with it. What is it about rallying that you love so much?
Well, indeed, I fell in love with rallying and not with other motorsport disciplines. I think that rallying is like a marathon and it's very complex. And of course, I love the mental part. I think the first challenge I discovered in motorsport is that, however confident you are in your, real life, like I was in university, public speaking, presenting projects in front of a crowd. When you're in a rally car and you put your helmet on, it's like everything disappears, and you have to start from scratch. You cannot skip steps. You cannot. I don't think you can progress very fast. So you have to take it step by step and just enjoy the process. And I think I found this mental challenge very interesting because it's all in your head and you always fight with your own limits and with the limits of your car. Of course, it's also a very physical sport, even though people don't believe it's so hard on the body. But you still need a very thorough physical training so you can really get the edge in the rally car.
Especially for rallying, yeah.
Yeah, because I love that with rallying I get to travel a lot and see different cultures, experience them from a whole new perspective, like not just like a tourist, but you can also see roads maybe you wouldn't drive them, if you were just a tourist in that country. So, and it's
and
like I said,
not
it's like
in the same way that you would be driving it if you were there normally. You're going through like a ridiculous breakneck
yeah,
speed.
exactly. But I really love the fact that it's like a marathon. So no matter what happens during a rally, if you can, fix the car or put it back on the road, you need to continue and reach the finish. So it's not game over if you get a flat tire or if you, I don't know, spin on a rally stage. Anything can happen until the last moment. So it's always fighting, pushing, reconsidering the context, being creative with what you have on hand. So I love this unexpected part of rallying.
And it maybe gives you, tell me if I'm wrong, I might just be talking nonsense, but it gives you that kind of good mentality for other areas of your life as well, then, because you have to take this mentality in the racing that if something goes wrong, you've just got to deal with it and fix it as best you can and keep going,
Yeah, I was and I still am a perfectionist, but rally really takes you out of your comfort zone because no matter how much you prepare for an event, there's always something that goes wrong in the last minute, or you have to fix, or just find a solution. And I love the fact that the community is so, it's so nice, and everybody is trying to help each other when they can during a rally. So you really feel that the power of the community. So I think that's a nice thing. Yeah.
So then, how is 2022 going for you so far?
Well, my season, to be honest, it's quite extreme because I started very chill with the winter rally in Romania on snow. First time driving on snow. It was very fun. Then I tested the electric Opel Corsa E, the rally car with which I'm competing in the all new electric rally series, the Opel Cup. And then I found out that the first rally of my other championship, the Balkan Rally Trophy, got cancelled. So yeah, I even though I had my plan very clearly, set, like I told you, there's usually some unexpected last-minute change.
Living up to its name.
So yeah, in February I knew I had two full championships ahead. But with the cancellation of the first event, I thought, maybe it's a good idea not to miss an event and try to do another rally. And somehow we decided to do the WRC Rally Croatia. And it was, of course, it's a dream for any rally driver to do a WRC event, just to, live in that amazing atmosphere and to see what it's like to be around the best drivers in the world. So I did that. It didn't go as I wanted to because we crashed on the first stage. So yeah, it was my first high-speed crash. In a way, I'm happy it happened in the WRC because of the spectators and the organizers, and everybody was so happy to help us and support us. They encouraged us. The security was top, so I had no.
I was going to ask, were you happy that of all the places you crashed, like that?
Yeah.
There, but
weirdly enough, I mean, the cost is the same. I have to fix my own rally car, so it would have costed me the same if I would have crashed it in Romania or in a WRC event. Okay, the downside was that, of course, there are so many spectators that every mistake you do gets on camera.
Yeah.
So, of course, luckily enough, thanks to our boys at #Motorsport, they repaired the car during that same day, and we got to restart for the second day and the third day. But I was quite hesitant and afraid. I didn't get back in the flow. I didn't find my pace from before the crash. I think it's it's expected to drive bad after a high-speed crash, especially after my first high-speed crash. I didn't have any objective other than to reach the finish line.
A bit cautious.
But yeah, I was being too cautious, and I even had a few other mistakes that I'm not happy with. But overall, I'm glad that I had this experience. I mean, it was a very hard rally, and it was a tough experience because, unfortunately, after crashing my car, I ran out of my repair budget for the whole season. So it was a very poor.
You crashed properly then.
Yeah, it was a very poor management choice, let's say, because I'm my own. I don't have a team behind me or like a manager. My mom helps me as a team manager, but she doesn't have any motorsport background. So the main decisions I take all by myself regarding budget, regarding the rallies I will do, or the strategy for the upcoming season. So I think I got so focused on, just competing in the WRC that I forgot I need to focus on driving and consistently, growing the pace in the rally car. So even though it was a nice experience, it's hard on the budget from now on, but I will live with that.
It's still a good place to do it, like you say, and you never know what might come as a result of that. Like, you were still doing all right, all things considered.
Of course. I mean, I'm looking forward to the next rallies. I will have another rally in Germany with the electric Opel Corsa E next week. and then another one in Austria in July, and then we'll be back with the Peugeot, with the conventional rally car. For some rallies around here in the
great bit of having so many things to do this season is that, okay, maybe that one didn't go to plan, but it's not like everything was going into that. You've got all these other things going on, so, and in different disciplines as well, so you get to try a bit of everything.
Yeah, it's actually the same discipline. I mean, we do regular rallies with the rally car. Yeah, it's a nice experience with the electric rally car, actually, because it's really back to basics. You have to focus a lot of your lines and on clean braking points, on how you exit a turn. You don't have to worry about, technical problems like changing the gears or overheating the engine or stuff that can happen during a rally. So I really like it. I didn't expect I would like it this much, but it's nice. It's like back to basics, like when I was racing the Dacia Sandero in the Romanian Rally Championship, because it was the slowest and cheapest car, but it can teach you how to gain speed and to keep it,
And so if you can do well in a car like that, then if we stick you in a better car, then it should be okay.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, stronger cars usually tend to help you a lot, and you overlook some of the basic skills you need. So I'm grateful for the opportunity, of course. I mean, this season is my best season yet, after 2 years of really struggling to find the budget, and with all of the events that got canceled because of the pandemic this year, it's like a dream.
And so you're going very much from 0 to 60 again, and this year you're straight back into it.
Exactly, but I love it.
So then tell us a bit about Fun in Motorsport, if I'm not butchering the pronunciation too badly.
No, it's okay. I mean, I understood what you said. It's the Romanian Femei Motorsport. It's the Romanian for women in motorsport. Back in 2019, when I started this platform, I really wanted to show people that I'm not the exception in Romanian motorsport, because I knew there were a lot of other women involved in motorsport, not especially as drivers, but maybe as co-drivers or organizers or journalists. So I created this online platform where I can promote and highlight all women involved in Romanian motorsport. We already have 80 members. And I'm very happy to see that there's a very strong young generation of female drivers coming from behind. They are currently doing like rallycross, karting championships, maybe some hill climb events, but I'm very happy to see that there are more women drivers here, because we definitely need this. Yeah, I was very happy to get this project recognized by the FIA Women in Motorsport Commission last year in Monaco during the seminar. And of course, I'm happy to see that my own project gets this kind of attention, and it actually helps young girls to pursue their dream.
And it reassures you a bit as well that such a big body like the FIA is taking notice of this as well, and that they acknowledge it as well. It helps you kind of, if you need that extra bit of motivation to keep it going, getting that obviously helps them.
Yeah, well, especially because our federation is not recognized by the FIA, so we have a little bit of conflict in Romania. So it's even more hard to get outside and reach the FIA. But I think if we do our jobs well, then we will get recognized.
They can't ignore you then.
Yeah.
So going a bit off that, have you noticed an improvement in your experience as a woman in motorsport from when you started to where you are now?
Well, definitely yes. Maybe not as much in Romania, but I actually started my dream career. Let's say I switched from architecture to being a full-time rally driver after seeing some examples of women rally drivers. One of my examples was Ekaterina Stratieva from Bulgaria, which is our neighboring country, and I saw her competing back then in the European Rally Championship, and I never thought that would be possible. So I saw her, and then I knew, okay, I can be whatever I want to be in this sport. So I think it's very important to see how many women got involved in the last few years, and the numbers are growing. Maybe not as much as we would like to. I think we still need better representation of women drivers in rallying and in any championship. I mean, even in Croatia Rally in the WRC event I did in April. I was the only woman driver there, and we need consistent presence to be able to make an impact. And for this, unfortunately, we need budgets. I mean, motorsport is mainly based on budget.
It's not like the drivers aren't out there. They are there. It's just like you say, the budget and the opportunity. They just need a bit more of that coming in the right direction there. So hopefully, with things moving in the right direction, it can speed up a bit.
I really feel that we have a lot of support from big companies or brands who recently started to acknowledge the importance of women empowerment and women representation, gender equality, diversity, values that really can have a strong echo in the society. So this is what I hope that we can build together on this concept.
So fingers crossed. It'd be great to see, and like you say, we're seeing more and more of it. So there's no reason why it shouldn't happen.
Yeah, but we still need to do the work. We still need to actively support women drivers and women in motorsport. I mean, even like what you are doing here, a simple interview can make an impact. So if you can all do our part, I think we'll be good.
That's the plan anyway. Fingers crossed. Yeah. I'd say, aside from, you could have told the crash story for this one, maybe it wouldn't be so fun, we'll see, but do you have a fun racing-related story that you can share?
Well, yeah, actually, I have a very fun story from Arges Rally back in 2019 when we won our first podium in the Dacia Cup. Okay. My co-driver back then was Diana Hategan, and there was quite a lot of pressure during that rally. We had like some, fun moments on the stages just to enjoy everything. But I think the funniest moment was on the city stage. It was a very long and twisty city stage. And we did a mistake in the pace notes. And I just wove myself in front of a chicane, which Diana, I don't know, she didn't have on a pace notes. I think it was my mistake. But anyway, her reaction was, oh, anyway, just do the chicane, during the stage. So, and we both started laughing, and it stuck, like, do the chicane. It was an expression we are still using on the rally stage.
We'll get that on some merchandise. We'll get it on t-shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's just, you just part of rallying in motorsport. You just got to adapt to it sometimes. You just got to go with it.
Yeah, I mean, we have some moments in the rally car when we just start laughing, because things don't go as we expect them. And I mean, I'm not the type of driver that gets angry. I mean, of course, sometimes I do get angry.
I know.
But usually we choose to like make the best out of the experience.
You have to laugh a bit about it sometimes, because otherwise it's just depressing. So.
Yeah, of course. I really love the mentality I found in foreign rallies, like in the WRC or even in Rally di Roma when I did the European Rally Championship, even in Germany now in the Opel Cup. Everybody is asking me, okay, but are you having fun? I mean, this is the main goal, you need to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it's something you tend to forget when you're so focused on, growing the pace and becoming better and better and faster. Despite all of the budget issues, despite the fact that you don't know if you will be able to compete for the next rally or the next season, because if you're an entrepreneur like myself and you need to find your own sponsors and you then manage that budget, it's very hard. And if you forget that you also need to have fun, then what's the point,
Exactly. It's like you were saying earlier, when you stick the helmet on, everything kind of just disappears and you can get very focused on what it is that you're doing in the car. But you need to then, when you take off that helmet at the end, think that was a lot of fun, because otherwise you're like, again, what's the point?
Yeah, of course.
So then what has been the biggest challenge that you've had to overcome in your career so far?
Well, apart from the obvious budget topic, I think the main challenge was to, let's say, calibrate my mental health to support I got a lot of bullying and like online hate because we are such It's such a weird community in Romania. I have a lot of supporters, but then again, when I started saying that, like in any other domain, we have sexism, we have like misogynistic comments, then I got a lot of backlash from most of the male drivers in the Romanian motorsport community. And I think pointing out that we have some toxic problems inside Romanian sport in general, it really got me some unnecessary attention. So I had to take care of this as well as my own endeavor and project as an athlete, So this was the main challenge, just to accept that you have to be able to perform under such a huge amount of pressure. And I mean, my mission is to empower others to have courage and follow their dreams, but I have to do this by posting on social media. And social media also has this toxic effect, like hate and bullying.
Disadvantages. So
yeah. So I really needed to grow a very thick skin and to understand what tools I have to, counteract that behavior.
Yeah.
But luckily enough, I have a therapist who is very helpful, and I have a personal trainer who helps me stay fit. And like I said, physical training is also very important, even to mental health. So they go hand in hand. And I have a team of supporters and fans and friends that encourage me and believe in what I do. So I think it's very important just to surround yourself with positive people, which get your point and just do positive things.
You can do your speaking out on track as well. Then you can't ignore results when they're good, So it can be like you can hate as much on someone as you like, but you can't argue with the fact if they're doing really well. Then so.
Yeah, well, that's the main challenge, because in the last few years I didn't have any like great results, or at least I don't know. I was okay with what I did, considering the context and the budget issues and the fact that I bought a new rally car.
Because that's just what you're like as a racing driver.
Yeah, I mean, of course, but I feel that I don't want to. When I choose to post on social media, I always say that I'm happy because I finished. The end, I finished one rally and I got some valuable lessons from it. And I even got some hate about being happy with the poor result, because how can you be happy, in fifth place? But I am happy because this is the best I could do that far, and accepting, the whole context, I think it's easier to progress. I'm all for the growth mentality and the positive thinking, and I don't like to beat myself up, because I didn't have the courage to push more on a stage or to risk it more. I don't know. Maybe
you're more likely to improve if you have this kind of outlook. I feel like obviously you're not going to ignore any mistakes you make, but you can look at them, learn from them, and then there's no point in then still being sad about that 2 weeks later. It's like, well, no, we'll just find a way to deal with it now. And if you can be happy with it, and you did the best you can with what you have, then
Yeah, exactly. I mean, of course, I'm not happy with how I drove, let's say, in Croatia after having that crash. I'm not happy with it. I would have laughed at myself if I've seen that video, But then again, I cannot, just speak trash of somebody because they gave their best. I mean, it is what it is, It's I don't think people can understand the full picture and how it is to perform as a rally driver, really knowing that you don't have the budget to push the limit every second. So if I would have had an unlimited budget, or at least a decent budget for the whole season, then you can have a solid purpose. But when you don't have a solid budget for one whole season, then you have to take it step by step and rally by rally, and just reevaluate the damages, and do damage control after each event. So it really changes how you can grow and perform as a driver. So
definitely,
I accept my situation, but we'll see.
So I just need other people to learn that as well now, and then it'll be slightly better, hopefully. If you could partner up with any other driver for a race, who would you choose and why?
I love that question actually, and it actually made me think of Extreme E because I love that
Mhm.
championship. It's one of my lifetime goals, to get selected by one of their teams. Um, I think right now I would choose Oliver Solberg
Okay.
because he's very he comes from a huge motorsport family, and I feel that they have such a positive mindset and attitude towards how Oliver progresses during the WRC events he does. And i really I really like to see how it would be to just drive in such an atmosphere and
Mm.
partner up with somebody who grew in such a positive context. So,
Yeah.
and of course, I would love to have the chance to steal any kind of skill from him because he's such a good driver.
So yeah, no. So it sounds very much like you'd be on the same wavelength there in terms of approaches. So it'd be great to try and make that opportunity happen.
Yeah.
So a couple of fun non-motorsport questions to finish off with. Do you have any hobbies outside of motorsport?
Well, actually, yes. When I'm at home and I'm not preparing for a rally, I usually really enjoy to spend time in my garden with my flowers and with my two dogs. So this is
Mhm.
you know, very chill and
You need that
homey of
balance.
me. Yeah, I don't cook, but I have like a lot of flowers around my office. Um, I don't know. I read, I paint. I also work part time as an automotive journalist, so I write about cars. Yeah, I
Good way
think
to
this
get
is
the
my
car
main.
fixed when you can't be in the car.
Yeah, sure.
And then final question: if you could be in any film franchise, which one would you choose?
That's a tough one, but I would choose James Bond.
I can't argue with you there. I think I would have to choose the same one.
For the cars. I mean, I don't necessarily want to be the next James Bond. I really prefer the James Bond being a male, but I find the new perspective interesting. But still, the cars
As long as you get
are
to drive
so
a
cool.
car somewhere.
Yeah, as long as I get to drive it, I don't care.
You can be one of the villains that's in one of the scenes, and it's like, oh, you're going to be killed by James. Like, that's okay. I got to drive the car.
Exactly.
Oh, well, on that note, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you today. I want to thank you for your time and wish you the best of luck with
Thank you.
all of your motorsport events for the rest of this year. It's going to be a busy one. So, yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again to Christiana for coming onto the Kerbs with me, and I want to wish her the best of luck for the rest of the 2022 season and beyond. Join me again soon when I'll be chatting to another famous face from the world of motorsport. And in the meantime, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out the other videos on the On the Kerbs YouTube channel. And listen, we talk about Formula One, amongst other things, over on the Undercut podcast. Away from YouTube, you can follow me over on Instagram at t.albers.daily.onthekerbs and read my various motorsport articles over on Is It Fast, Paddock Sorority, and Supercar Blondie. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next week for the next episode.